Today is a new opportunity to accomplish your incredible. So let's wake up each day with a fresh mindset necessary for you to win. I welcome you to Rise and Shine. Morning motivation for the girl boss with author, speaker, and founder of the Prestige Society, Nicole Doss. Let's jumpstart your morning now. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and this is another episode of Rise and Shine. I pray that you are able to wake up feeling great, renewed, and refreshed. I hope that you had a great night's sleep and that you look forward to just having a great day. I mean, it is going to be an awesome day. Claim it. Because it's Friday, and there is no room for negative vibes, positive vibes only. So let's get right into it. Because it's Friday, we have no time for a delay. Our word for today is meditate. Now listen, I know you're like, meditate? I thought we were getting ready to have a jumping, happy, party-like kind of Friday. Well, listen, you had a long week. You have been challenged with certain things. You've been racking your brain with different ways to really make your company work. Maybe you've been looking at finances. Maybe you've been dealing with relationships and you're really trying to figure out, how is this going to work? Maybe you're really trying to figure out, how am I going to expand my reach? Maybe you've been working and trying to say, hey, how am I going to be able to really get more customers to buy from my brand? Nonetheless, all of that energy, that awesome, wonderful, creative energy that you've put into your brand today and this week, let me tell you, it took a lot out of you. I know it did. Why? Because it took a lot out of me. But here's some things that I want you to know. When you meditate, you are allowing yourself the time to reset and refresh. True story, probably, let's say, Christmas Eve, a little bit before Christmas Eve, all the way through to January 1, I didn't touch anything in social media. I think the most I did was post a family picture for Christmas Eve, and that was it. That was intentional. It wasn't because I didn't have content to push. I actually wanted to push some things out, but I had to really be disciplined in staying in this meditative state. And what I did was really focus on what I'm supposed to do for the new year. I spent a lot of time being intentional. I spent a lot of time conserving energy, really. You probably don't realize it, but when you spend time on social media, I know it starts off as you doing marketing, but you start scrolling through, and next thing you know, you're on there for a certain amount of time. When you start seeing different people doing different things, and when, I don't care how right you are in your mind and knowing that you have to put up blinders, there is energy that is really taking a toll on your body and your mind and your spirit. Even if for a moment you say to yourself, wow, I wish I could do something like this person, or why am I not successful like that person? And then you do like a course correct in your mind. That's energy spent on really focusing on the wrong things. That can really drain your who you are. So there was this very intentional time that I dedicated to just meditating and enjoying my family and reflecting. And so that when I went into the new year, that I was able to step into the new year with an excitement, with a refreshed sense of just being, with really feeling like I've spent a lot of time talking with God and asking Him to order my steps. I really, really try to focus in on those things so I could be prepared to go into my season of execution for 2019. And so that's what happened. And the cool thing is that people are recognizing that something is different. Someone said to me a couple of days ago, I don't know what you're doing differently, but please keep doing it. People are realizing something is different. People are seeing I'm moving differently. People are seeing I'm connecting with my audience differently. People are seeing that I'm posting differently. People are seeing that I'm having Instagram lives a lot differently than before. People are seeing in the pink room that I'm posting videos and having conversations with them a lot differently than I've done before. So these are things that would not have happened if I really decided to grind my girl boss down to the bone all the way to the very, 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 very last piece of 2018 and then decided, okay, I'm going to go into 2019 with some energy. It would have been spent. It would have been like burning the candle in both ends. I would have not been able to have this energy and this renewed or refreshed outlook on my business if I did not spend that time to have that season of refresh and renew through meditation. So, some things that you'll find is that when you spend that time in meditation, you can do things like having positive visualization. If you don't know what that is, it's when you're just getting some quiet time and you're really focusing on what you want in your life. And I really struggle with positive visualization, and I try not to focus so much on things because for me, it's a slippery slope of, um, honestly, meditating for me is prayer. So when I begin to meditate on things, on physical things, for me, that's worshiping false idols. And I know that's hard because a lot of us do things like vision boards and have vision board parties. But honestly, I mean, what if you really practice the law of attraction without putting God in it? What you're supposed to do is really close your eyes and imagine yourself in this thing. If you watch The Secret, they tell you if you want that new car, imagine yourself grasping the steering wheel and driving and the air going through your hair. You're really, putting a lot of that energy into that thing. And for me, that really is a slippery slope of worshiping false idols. So I try to be very mindful on what I'm meditating when I practice positive visualization. And what I try to do is not put so much of my will into it, but really asking God to order my steps, use me, allow me to operate in purpose. I've even changed the way I've prayed a lot because, I'm afraid that if I pray for something so specific and I can't even see what, my God can do, because I'm only human, so I cannot see all that He can do for me, then if I allow my limited thinking to be the defining conversation around what it is I want to be able to accomplish, I could very possibly be blocking my own blessings without even knowing it. So I try not to focus on the thing. I try to focus on the purpose, my purpose, who I'm supposed to be helping, allow me to be used, allow me to be open to opportunities that you're creating for me. And so when I meditate in that space of, God, use me. God, allow me to hear from you. Please order my steps. And so this conversation around meditation is not for, if you don't believe, I don't know what you believe in, whatever you believe in. I love Tiffany Torrance says, and if you pray to a head of lettuce, like if that's your thing, if that's what floats your boat, then go on and meditate with your head of lettuce. But for me, it's God, and that's how I meditate. What that does for me, it really opens up my spirit and allows me to, one, clear the clutter from my mind. If you think about it, every day you are sitting in front of your laptop and doing work. You're on your phone and you're looking through social media. You're looking through YouTube. You're looking at Netflix. You're looking at Ratchet TV, whether it be the famous Love and Hip Hop or any Real Housewives of wherever. Whatever it is, there's clutter in your mind. Not to mention anything else that is going on with you. So whether it's, I always say relationships, whether it's finances, whether it's, your family, whether it's your health, whether it's, whatever it could be. These are things that have the ability to clutter your mind. And if you want to have a mind that is creative, a mind that is innovative, a mind that is always thinking about that God idea, yes, Elaine, I am so using your word, but you will always get the credit for that one. But if you're trying to that God idea, That's the thing. You really can't have those great ideas when it's cluttered, when there's just so much noise, when there's just so much stuff telling you that you can't do it or won't even allow you to think about what you can do because something else is fighting for that attention in your mind. If there's a book, it's Anxious for Nothing, and that was something I really said I wanted to be able to read. I'm grabbing it now. So it's written by John MacArthur, because that's the one thing that I think that happens is that when we become anxious about things we cannot control, we are cluttering our minds, and we are now not thinking or putting our minds on the things that were intended for us to really focus on. So when you're able to meditate, you then are allowing yourself to just declutter that brain of yours, that wonderful, that beautiful, that fabulous brain of yours. The next thing that allows to happen is once that mind is clear, once your mind has become decluttered, you are now in a space where you are allowing those new ideas, those innovative ideas, though that feeling of inspiration to come to you. I was speaking in a panel when I was at this really horrible, it was a really bad women's conference that went awry. Like, it was like Fire Festival, but like really scaled down. Like, this person was so fraudulent in all of her claims of what people were going to receive that honestly, like, she should never be able to put on another event again. I hope she's listening, because people were crying because of the money that they put out to have this experience, and this person didn't even show up and had a cruise, had women on this cruise thinking that they were going to have this wonderful experience with over like 400 women. And it was like 20 of us. It was horrible. So, in that, the leaders that, there were so many great leaders in the group that we decided that we were going to make the best of it. And I've made some of the awesome connections with women that I still have today. So, everything happens for a reason. But I remember sitting on the panel, our makeshift panel, and trying to carry on as much as we could for those who paid to see us speak. And I remember one girl was saying that her best ideas come to her in the middle of the night. Like, she could be dead sleeping, and she could be like in the middle of a deep sleep, but the best ideas will just come to her. And she's like, oh my goodness, and it could be 1 or 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, I can't say that my best ideas come like that all the time, but last night I was awakened with anxiety, because I was starting to think about finances. So I literally was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I got super nervous. And then I'm like, why am I? And I couldn't even understand why I was feeling nervous. Maybe it was like one of those dreams we had that we can never remember what our dreams were. Who knows the reason why? But nonetheless, I was feeling really anxious. And one of the things that came to me was, like, you're okay. Everything is all right. And it started to just hit me, like, all of these wonderful streams of income that we have at Prestige. The goal is let God use you, all will work out. And that was like that calming sense that was able to take back over, because I've been feeling very calm in 2019, and I'm not really a calm person. So this feels really interesting. It's almost like a euphoric state, but not like mania. Like, I'm not crazy happy or anything like that. I just feel very calm, like everything is okay, like just very mellow. So in that, I just felt like, wow. But what I did this morning is I wanted to make sure that whatever remnants were happening from the night before, that I was clearing my mind. And I got up this morning and I meditated. I made sure that I got on my hands and knees, and that I like prayed. I had my head to the floor. I was praying and I was meditating. And I just asked God to just clear my mind and clear my spirit of anything that's not going to allow me to do His work, to operate in purpose. And that really prepared me to be able to finish a lot of the great tasks that I have for today. So when you are really meditating and you're dedicating time to meditate, you're just not in this space of clearing your mind, but you're also in the space where all of those ideas that you need for your business, all of those ideas that you need in order for you to make money with your business. I'm going to tell you right now, you can have a business all you want. You can have an LLC, you can have all of that, and you cannot make a dime. And a lot of you are sitting on LLCs. A lot of you are sitting on that God idea. A lot of you are sitting on that business and you are not making money with your business. And I don't think that you should feel at all ashamed that you want to make money with your business. At the end of the day, you have to live. You have to buy food to eat. You have to be able to keep your lights on. If you want to be able to work your business online, you need to be able to have Wi-Fi. You need to have a laptop. You need to have a cell phone. All of those things take currency. All of those things take money. So clear your mind so that you are in that space where you're able to get those ideas that are going to help you create this business where you're going to make money with your business. And lastly, it allows you to hear from your higher power. I cannot tell you, and I do not push religion on any one person, but I'm going to tell you right now, I definitely push spirituality. When you are not connected to a higher power, you become so frustrated with the smallest things. I used to be a manager at a water company, and I remember meeting with one of my employees, and she was actually from Germany. And one of the things she used to explain to me is that in Germany, like religion and spirituality and all those things were like things that just were looked down upon. Like if you went to church, you were seen as being crazy. So I asked her, what do you believe in? And we were having really more of a coaching moment. And I knew I was on my way out, so I really didn't care that I was having this conversation. I knew my employee needed it, and so we had it. And so I asked her, like, what do you believe in? And I said, I'm not asking you to believe in any one thing, but I'm just interested in knowing, is there anything that you believe in? Because she would become so angry with some of the smallest changes that I thought were small, but I realized it's because how we look at the world was so different. Things that I thought were small were huge to her. And she said, I believe in mankind. And one thing that you're taught, is that when you depend on man, you will always be disappointed. So you're always taught to really lean on the Lord. You're always taught to lean on God and to really just, to lean on. So that's what I've always been taught. And I've also been taught that in the grander scheme of things, everything is just small. Like nothing is that big where it should really cause you to just completely change who you are or change, your whole demeanor. So what was interesting is when she said that, I said, wow, that's such a different take. I've never, I didn't think of that. And I realized that, when we started talking about like even her, like how she looked at certain things in life and how she looked at things as far as like how she wanted to move forward in life and things of that nature, everything was so into just tying into what man can do for her, what that person can do for her, what she can do. And I thought to myself, and I didn't have this conversation with her, but I thought to myself, how limited would I be if the only person that I could depend on to help me through everything is just myself? How limited would I be if my success was only limited to not only my talents, but to a person, man, who is willing to give me a chance? I couldn't imagine in a million years ever thinking that my success is tied to someone else. Like, no way. No way. And I had that thought process even in my early 20s. I remember working in a job where I said, I had to tell someone, I don't care if you try to hold me back from this job, but what God has in store for me, you cannot block. And what was funny about that is that person ended up in a whole different company with me where she was completely demoted and I was in a completely different position that was actually above her. she was able to see it. You cannot hold someone back if God has, or your higher power has, a different plan for you. So to be tied to your higher power is absolutely important, because you need to realize that there's a higher power that has a completely different plan for you than you may want for yourself. And that, it's God's plan that's going to reign. It's not your plan. So you can try to plan for it, but it's really your job to be flexible and agile enough to say, well, whatever your will is, that's what I'm going to do. So order my steps so that I can be obedient in taking those steps. I didn't mean to take y'all to church on a Friday morning, but some of y'all need it. So I'm just going to go ahead and be unapologetic in sharing that word with you. So with meditation, yes, we've covered the three things that you should really focus on as far as why you should do it and the benefits of meditating. But I have three challenges for you guys today, so let's just jump into that really quick. So the first thing I really want you to do is I want you to pick a designated time that you are going to meditate. And this is going to require you to either do a number of things. So if you have kids like your girl, then you are really going to want to find a quiet time when you can pray. So for me, it's usually like when I just get up, and prayer, meditation, for me, it's one and the same. So depending on where you are in your spiritual journey, you may just want to focus on the word meditation, but for me, I meditate in prayer. So when I meditate in prayer, that happens for me in the early morning when I just get up. It's quiet. Taylor's not up yet. Maybe Gabby, she's so self-sufficient. She's just kind of doing her own thing and she really doesn't bother me. So I can be in like my dark room and just quiet and just praying. But even when she leaves, and for the bus stop, that's really still that quiet moment because Taylor's still sleeping. So I'm able to really just meditate in prayer and just really focus on what I need to do to clear my mind and to really shift my energy for that morning, and to really be open to ask God, what does he have for me today that I'm really supposed to be focusing on? What are the things that he's going to put into my spirit that I really need to be aware of? And so though, picking a time that works for you where your environment is quiet, where there's no disruption, is absolutely important. But there was one time where I used to actually have to work and go into an office, and I didn't have time, because in the morning you're just so focused on just getting dressed and getting the kids out the door, that for me, I had to meditate during lunch. So I would meditate during lunch. I would go in my car and I would meditate. So find that time when you can meditate. Number two, focus on quieting the noise and clearing out the clutter. A lot of you can't deal with a quiet mind, and when you have a quiet mind, your mind begins to race. So use something that can help you focus on the right things to say. So you can say to yourself, I want to have a clear mind. I want to be able to clear up the clutter. You can chant something. For me, I talk to God, but I use repetitive sentences so that I can really focus on that thing when I'm in meditation. So if I'm focused on what am I supposed to do today, it's really important for me, like, to really have like my steps directed by God. So I'm really like meditating on, please order my steps, please order my steps, please order my steps. So those are the things of how I'm meditating and quieting my mind, and those are the words that I'm repeating. So find a mantra, find something that you need to be able to repeat over and over again, depending on what you're dealing with. Maybe you need to have even words of affirmation that you need to repeat, whatever the case may be. Find that thing and just make sure you continuously say it so that you can begin to clear the clutter out. It's allowing you to focus your energy on the right thing by saying that mantra, and then allowing yourself to really be focused on that and not allowing your mind to wander to other places like, what am I going to cook tonight? I wonder, is it going to be a rerun on Empire? Like, no, you're going to be able to be focused on the right things, all right? The last, but definitely not least thing that I want you to do is start off with a reasonable time frame. So no, you do not have to start off with a 30-minute meditation. Really start off with something as simple as a 60-second meditation. That's right. And there are plenty of apps out there that will guide you in meditation, play beautiful crashing sounds of oceans, as well as, a little bit of seagulls in the background making noise, and it will chime at the end of the 60 seconds, allowing you to have a mind shift where you're able to really focus on that positivity time. Tapping into those positive vibes for 60 seconds will definitely change how you begin to meditate. Yes, you can go a little bit longer than 60 seconds, and maybe at that point you won't need a timer. But for those of you who've never done this before, please start real simple. Baby steps, baby steps. 60 seconds should do the trick. All right, guys, so I'm going to go. I hope that this has helped you. Try something today. Try something right after this podcast episode. But whatever it is, try it, try it, try it. This is your year, and you have so much work to do. But trust me, the closer you get to you being able to experience your greatness, the more other energies that do not want you to win will be fighting against you. So you need to make sure that your mind, your body, your spirit, and your business are all intact. You need to make sure that your mind is clear and ready to receive all of those wonderful ideas and all of those wonderful blessings that are going to be coming for you. So I just want you to be set up in the best possible way so that you are prepared for all of the great and awesome things that you are going to accomplish and experience this year. All right, guys, this is your girl. Have a wonderful, awesome, productive, and most of all, blessed, not only day, but weekend. Bye, guys.